Hey guys, this is Vertus here, and today I have something a little bit different for you guys, and it is a mini guide for the Leopard 1. Now, I see a lot of tank drivers with this tank that are using it really incorrectly, as it is quite different from a lot of other tanks that are out there. And the two skills I'm going to be showing you guys today is, number 1 is scouting, and number 2 is knowing when to use your speed and to have patience. I'll go over what each of those things mean in a little bit. Now, the first gameplay is going to show you the spotting capabilities as well as the camera rating of the Leopard. We're playing Winter Malinovka, and I'm playing with my really good friend and who is driving his E5. Now, on this map, I normally flank in the Leopard, as when the enemy team has tanks like the T-62 and multiple IS-7s or E3s that are really powerful at the windmill, the Leopard can't really compete as it has no armor. And with its excellent speed of 65 kilometers per hour, it can easily outflank its enemies. But on this map, in this game, they only have one IS-7, so I'm not too worried. So I'm able to get into this position, which is my favorite spot at the windmill. And there's a spot like this on both sides of both spawns, so you don't have to worry. And this is probably the most powerful position on the map. As in a hold down tank like the IS-7, if you stay in this position, you're pretty much invincible, as only your turret and a tiny little bit of your hull is showing, and that allows you to do a lot of damage without taking any. But in this game, as you can see, the enemy really aren't coming up to the hill, and only just now I spot the IS-7. Now, I'm not going to rush my shot here, as I wait and I go for the tracking shot, and in hopes that my team could maybe get a few shots into him, but that is not what happened. But if you look at our IS-7, or our IS-8 and our T-54, they are on pretty low health, so that means that there are a lot of campers back on the hills, and the IS-8 has just died to a hidden object. So what I'm going to do right now is, since I am useless at the windmill, as I do not have shots on the IS-7, is what I'm going to do is go all the way around and a little bit before a cap, and that should allow me to spot some guys on the hill. Now, right here, I make a bit of a mistake of pausing, as I was thinking I could have shots into the IS-7, but as most of you know, the IS-7's, even the side of his turret is extremely strong, and even at this range, it's not really reliable to be able to be penned by my regular APCR rounds. So what I'm going to do is flank around and hopefully spot some campers, and I communicate with my platoon mate, and he knows that I will be spotting them, so he stays back and to be ready to shoot some campers. Now, right there, as you saw, we double tapped that object, and he knows that if he stays up there any longer, he will be dead. So he backs off, and there's another ISU, and he gets double tapped once more, and he's down to a one shot for almost all my team now. Now, look at this Leopard accuracy right here. Any other tank gun in the game might not have been able to hit that shot, but the Leopard did it. And I get a really lucky bounce. I think that was from the object, as from the, I don't know, from just feeling it on the screen. The gun caliber was quite big and was not the Carnarvon. Now, I see that the object is moved uphill, so he won't be able to get any shots into me once I come around, and there is a poor lone T-34 with his gun facing the wrong way. I engage adrenaline here to try to maximize my damage, and this T-34 is doomed, and my good buddy in his E5 gives me good fire support and finishes him off. Now, here is where I start really donking. My first shot hits the upper plate of the Carnarvon, and that really didn't quite work. And I see the Jagdtiger immediately on my right. And that's another thing you need to be able to have, is very good situational awareness. As I was looking on the minimap, and I saw that there was something immediately to my right, and as I look over, there was a Jagdtiger facing my way. So if I didn't back off even a second, a little bit later, I probably would have been shot by that Jagdtiger. Now, my good buddy is in a lot of trouble with an object. So the first shot I go for is tracking him, so he is not able to go down to finish my good buddy off. But my second one somehow goes into the rock, and that was a bit unlucky. My third attempt finally finishes off the object, and now it's just down to the IS-3 about his return shot, and I get to put one shot into him before he dies my platoon mate. And that was a really nice brothers in arms there. Had some really nice coordination between my team and myself as I was able to spot them. And sorry about the show lag here, but I did get the spotter mission done, and that was around 3k damage with 2k spotting. And that was a first class master badge in the Leopard 1. Now the second skill that you need to know in your Leopard is to have patience. Now the Leopard's speed is way beyond anything else you've probably ever driven, so it will get you into trouble a lot faster as well, and you need to know when to use your speed and when not to use your speed. Now in this game on Lost Temple, I really had to hold back in the first couple of minutes of the game in order to actually shine in the last 2 or the last 3 minutes of the game. Now I'm playing against some of my good friends from Titan, and this should be a pretty fun game. Now I say bad matchup here because on this map, tanks with good turrets really dominate, and that's a lot like Winter Malinowka really. And here I'm able to use the Leopard speed to get into the central tower, which in my opinion is the most dominant position in the map. Now normally something like a T62A or an IS-7 are extremely powerful in that position, but and the Leopard isn't really powerful as it has no armor including the turret, and the turret is where it really matters in this position. Now this spot will usually spot a lot of enemies, and that's exactly what happens. I pop a lucky shot into the IS-4, and who's going to come up on the hill. Now if their IS-4 and their E5 came up into the middle of the tower and they played well, they would have an easy win, but luckily for me, the E5 stayed down. Now I get a quick shot into the Ferdinand, and this E5 is playing extremely aggressively, pushing way past the midpoint of the temple, and I target him as fast as possible, and this is where I use the speed to get out. Now the E5 is pushing up really aggressively, and I have a pattern on my right, and I'm really hoping my teammates will turn around and start shooting this E5 that has pretty much overexposed himself a little bit there. And look at that accuracy. I was able to hit that even though I did not penetrate. Somebody else put a really nice 600 damage roll into the E5, and that is what makes him back off a little bit. And as you can see now, this E5 is getting pummeled as he pushed up way too far. If he had come up onto the tower, he would have been a much bigger threat, and he probably would have won this game for them if he did that. Now, on this side, this is a pretty bad position because I can only see the IS-4's turret, and I'm not able to penetrate him while he is able to penetrate my turret. So soon enough, I'll realize that this position is totally worthless, and I will turn around and go the other way. Now, if you'll notice, right now, I haven't really done a lot for the team. I've just been sitting here and baiting the E5. That's pretty much all I did this game so far. But now I'm able to push a little more aggressively as the enemies are distracted, and that is when the Leopard shines, is when the enemy are more focused on other targets, and you can use your insanely high 8 rounds per minute with this 105. And start pummeling the teammates. Now I know that T95 is still facing that way, but now I see he's turned, and this is my opportunity to strike. First of all, I need to finish off this FV, who lingered on a bit too long, and I see the T95 is turned all the way, so that allows me to push ahead and start pumping some shots into him. My first shot sets him on fire, and he does not have a fire extinguisher, so that was pretty lucky. So I put a tracking shot as my second shot to ensure my kill with my third. Now, we pretty much got this game in the bag, and the IS-4 is still a problem up in the hill, up on the temple. As you can see, he is still alive and at a pretty healthy amount of HP there. If the E5 had stayed up there, I think he would be in the same position, and me and my platoon mate would have a lot more trouble trying to finish these guys off. Now, I try to load a heat round to finish him off here, but sometimes he just doesn't work. So that one bounced, but as you can see, sometimes you just have to wait in the Leopard and know when to take your opportunities to actually attack, because if you attack at the wrong time, this tank really does not have any compromises, and you will die very quickly because there's no armor. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and please subscribe for more.